Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Pyroxius here with a new guide about the arms warrior. So let's just get into it. It's gonna be for both PvE and PvP, since the rotation and shit doesn't really change that much in PvP. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and give it a like and subscribe me if you like it. So let's just get into it, guys. Before we actually just get into the guide, let's just go and point some things out. So we're gonna do this quite easily. Stat priority, talents and glyphs, and then we're just gonna go into rotation like we always do. So yeah, let's just start with that right now. So stat rotation, the things you actually want to focus as an arms warrior is mastery. Get your strength up, which you will just get it on your gear, so you should not worry about it. Then go mastery. After mastery, you want crit, because crit actually gives you the most the most damage output in combination with your mastery. So yeah, let's just take a look at our mastery real quick. Why it's so important? It basically just increases damage of our main abilities. It gives us bigger ass execute, which arms is used for most of the time, as well as more to strike colossal smash, just deal more damage. This is why mastery is so insanely good, since the most of the damage will probably come from mortal strike. Like you see, it hit like a truck, and I'm in PvP gear, so I use arms for PvP in BGs and things, and it really shines a lot. Although PvE rotation is also mastery, then you want crit. If you do not have the Citadel set bonuses from normal or higher, then crit is actually slightly better than mastery. But I would just go mastery anyways, because it's a bit more reliable than crit, if you ask me. Although Simcraft and guys like Icy Veins and things tell you differently, I would go mastery over crit. So as enchant everything with mastery, because it's just plainly good, as well as mark the bleeding hollow on your weapon, because it increases your mastery. Again, it's just, you need mastery. The whole spec is about mastery, mastery, mastery. So after that, what we want after mastery, and what do you want actually after nice crit? The thing is, you should aim for it. What you want after that is just go for multi-strike or for haste. I would get haste up towards like 11%, 13%, because the cooldowns will line up better with your colossal smash. Next to that, well, multi-strike is not that bad, and you will probably get it on some pieces anyways, because, well, unless you get best in slot gear, it's not that bad. I would avoid versatility all the way. Unless you're PvPing, then versatility is actually not that bad, and I would go for versatility after crit and after mastery. But if you're not doing that, then I would just stick with the following rotation, which is just mastery, crit, haste about like 13%, and then you're gonna go a multi-strike. But well, you rather not have any versatility or multi-strike at all. Just try to get your haste around a good, which is also around, if you get buffed towards 13%, it will also help, and get crit and mastery as much as you can. And when you get the Citadel set bonuses from normal or higher, multi-strike actually becomes better than haste, because you're just gonna be spamming your multi-strike anyways, and having multi-strike chance is just better than, it's basically another kind of form of crit. And multi-strike also get like the bonus from mastery, so that's a good thing. Do not really look at the other guys that tell you differently. You should think logically about your stat priority, and take Simcraft and that kind of things in consideration. But if you think logically, then you know that getting straight up damage boost from mastery is just insanely good, and crit in combination with that is just insanely good, because it's gonna make your crit deal more damage, as well as your crit is gonna make your mastery basically do more damage, because you're gonna crit more often, and you're gonna get the big ass mortal strikes and executes. So yeah, that's what I would do if I were you. So what you want to do then is look at talents. So the talents are whatever you want. So the first tier is not really important at all. Stun, double time, or juggernaut. I would go for double time, or for juggernauts. If you're raiding, you don't need to charge a lot for a bit of extra rage regen when you really need it, although I'm rarely really getting into rage problems. I would go for Enrage regen, Second Wind, or boss like Tyrant Valhari or something, because that will be better. So as Enrage regen is just insanely good for having that bit of burst survivability if you need it, a bit of healing over time as well. It's just really good. Impending Victory, I rarely find it useful, because you already got Victory Rush, which you use most of the time anyways, and you tend to forget using Impending Victory anyways. Next to that it costs Rage, which we're gonna need for other skills, so I would not suggest taking it. Although it gives more healing than Enrage regen, or well, the same amount of healing, but you can use it more often. Because, well, you get 15%, it has a 30-second cooldown, so you can heal slightly more often. In the end it's gonna give you the same amount of healing as Enraged, but well, it's just not as good, if you ask me, because with Enraged you get to keep Victory Rush, so when you kill something you can get a 15% HP back anyways, and you can use it with Enrage, which will give you more healing if you look at it that way. As well as for PvP, Enrage is just way better to survive burst spikes, as well as for Victory Rush still being there. If you defeat somebody in arena or in a BG and want a 15% heal, that can actually save the fight for you. So with that being said, get on. Taste for Blood, Sudden Death, Slam. Every guide says Sudden Death, but Sudden Death is not good for arms. And why isn't it? Because if you look at our Execute, it's actually different. It costs 10 Rage, and soaks up to additional 30 Rage. The thing is, the Sudden Death proc doesn't do it. So what the 30 Rage extra does is actually that causes your fucking hits to crit insanely much. If you look at Execute damage, it's only like 28k according to the toolbar, and it can deal up to almost 84k with the 30 additional Rage. Since the Sudden Death proc doesn't do that for you, it's quite useless if you ask me. People say, oh, they think about big ass Executes, but it's not that good. Believe me, it's not that good. Taste for Blood is better in my opinion. You want to use this anyways if you have the Hellfire Citadel tier set bonuses for normal or higher, because it will give you more Rage, which allows you to spam Molten Strike. So yeah, if you got 4 set bonus, go for Taste for Blood anyways. It's just really good, and yeah, I already use it for normal, as well as for AoE it's better, so I recommend Taste for Blood. Well, in PvP it's kinda different. Slam is not that bad. Why? If you have the set bonuses from PvP like I do, you now generate Rage from taking damage. This in combination with Slam is a big ass damage increase over the other twos, because you're gonna have tons of Rage anyway, and slamming the enemy when everything else is off cooldown, or after your burst is done, this actually can hit up to 80k if it's stacked. And because you get Rage all the time, because you're gonna get attacked, you just deal so much damage, and I don't really get why people say that is that bad. But for PvE wise it is not good, because you're not meant to take damage anyway. As well as when you got the tier set bonuses, you won't generate Rage from getting auto attacks. So I would not use Slam for a PvE wise, so I'm not using it now. I would go for Taste for Blood, although if you really like Sudden Death you can take it, but I would not suggest it because of what I just said with Execute. It doesn't hit hard with the Sudden Death proc. So yeah, well, I think that having more Rage and allowing you to fit in more Whirlwinds will do more damage over time. Well, this is basically the stun tier. Stormbolt, Shockwave, Dragon Roar. I would go for Dragon's Roar for DPS, but in PvP it's not that good. When you have as the stun or PvP, Stormbolt is just generally better. When you do 3 versus 3, Shockwave can be better because of the cooldown reset with 20 seconds, which will make it a faster stun than Stormbolt. As well, it deals more damage than Stormbolt, and it stuns multiple mobs. So when you get literally heavy AoE situations with lots of add like Hellfire Assault, I would not go for Dragon's Roar, although it hits like a truck, but this deals more damage in the end. I would go for Shockwave there, that kind of fights where you have lots of adds. But you can instantly or easily hit 3 targets at least to reset the cooldown towards 20 seconds. Then I would go for Shockwave, man. Stormbolt is the best single target DPS wise if you use it on cooldown against bosses, because it deals quadruple damage against target immune to stun, so for bosses are always immune to stun, so yeah, well, there it's kind of good. But Dragon's Roar is so much easier to use and ignores armor, and and it looks ridiculously cool. But I got Stormbolt for now. What you prefer to use, it's not that big of a big ass difference, but well, I use Stormbolt because I like to have a stun added to it. Since arms is not the top DPS spec anyways, it doesn't really matter that much for PvE wise. So this is what you want. If you're gonna be raiding on the 75 tier, pick Vigilance, because Vigilance is just, if your tank needs it, you're gonna have to pop it, and you're gonna need it, believe me. Safeguard is plain useless. At least if you raid, I don't think it's good at anything. It's basically an intercept, replaces intercept and reducing damage they take after the intercept. But well, in arenas this can be good, but not in any pardon me, not in any PvE situation. I found this handy. Mass spell reflection, I use it in BGs most of the time, or when I have a comp with only magic users against me, then mass spell reflection can be really handy. But for PvE, I don't really see any situation that comes to mind where I use it, which probably means there are not lots of bosses where this will be handy. So well, just go for Vigilance when you're doing PvE. It's way better. And for PvP, Vigilance or Mass Spell Reflect, and some kind of weird way sometimes Safeguards. Just adjust yourself to the comp you're fighting or to what your team needs. Avatar Bloodbath Bladestorm. For AoE you want Bladestorm, doesn't matter what situation you're in. For PvP, Bladestorm is quite good because you're getting immune to the movement impairing. But I would, honestly, I would go probably for Avatar, because Avatar is just 20% damage increase and removes all roots and snare. Bloodbath is a better DPS improve, but I got a one-shot macro where Avatar is binded in, and Avatar has a better cooldown lineup with Recklessness. Can just use it, and by the time Recklessness come up as well. Bloodbath you can use it 3 times in the time you can do your burst basically. So Bloodbath is a good DPS increase, has a slow. It's just not bad, but I actually damn that according to the my own test that Avatar actually hit harder. So according to Simcraft, Bloodbath would be better, but I like the 20% damage increase for Avatar. It's basically a wings for warriors. That's basically what Avatar is. So yeah, let's go into level 100 talent. Anger Management, Ravager or Siegebreaker. I would go for Anger Management if you have the Hellfire set piece, because you're gonna spam lots of fucking Mortal Strikes, which costs Rage. And yeah, then Anger Management will be viable. If you don't use it, I rarely get Anger Management off without set piece. So I don't have any set bonuses from Hellfire, but well, it's just the way I roll. Siegebreaker is the best without set bonuses for damage, but in arenas I wouldn't take it, or in PvP, because simply because of the fact that you lose a powerful CC for it, which can save your comp and save your life in arenas or BGs. So I would not use Siegebreaker. But for PvE wise, it's just a damage increase if you line it up with your Colossal Strike or Colossal Smash, because then it will also ignore armor, which will make it hit quite a lot harder. Ravager for AoE, simple as that. It's not a great spell, but it actually works with Sweeping Strikes, I find out, and as well as with Bladestorm, it actually increases your deeps by quite a lot. So yeah, let me reach back into Avatar, equip for single target, and let's get into Glyphs. Take Resonating Power if you don't have the Hellfire set piece in PvE for the damage increase with Thunderclap. I got Shattering Throw for PvP equipped now. You can replace it by Ending Rage, which I'm gonna do right now for minor things. So it's whatever you want for your minor glyphs. They're not that important. If you got a fight where you need to interrupt a lot, then you can actually get the Glyph of Root Interruption, I believe, which increases your damage by 6%. This is a very good damage increase if you really want that. We hit a target with sweeping strikes is quite good. Simply for the fact that Glyph of Sweeping Strikes will help you get more rage in AoE situations, so I would go for that. Wind and Thunder is plainly useless. Well, Cleave is no longer in the game for us, so well, Glyph of Cleave is only protection now. Raging Blow, we don't got all that kind of thing, so that's basically all the things that I can think of. Heroic Leap can be handy if you have lots of movability needed. But well, I would just go for Bull's Rush in PvP for the additional rage, because you're gonna need that rage. Executor is only handy in PvP or when lots of ads that die quick, so you can execute them. But for bosses and that kind of things, it's not handy because you're not gonna kill the boss with execute, and if you do, the boss fight is over. You're no longer gonna need that rage. So yeah, with that being said, you can do that basically. A rage speed can be handy if you need to move well a rage, so you can pop berserker rage to move 20% faster. But it's not that much of a thing. So let's just get done with it. If you need more healing with lots of edge, you can also go for Glyph Victory Arch, but I rarely find that one usual. Or Gag Order if you need another interrupt. For example, like a fight like Kill Rock or anything, where you need to interrupt like 2 things in a row, and you can do it solo. So yeah, that's basically all the things I can think of. So let's get into the rotation now. The rotation is really easy on an Arms Warrior, probably the easiest one in the game. You got a few skills that you need to take care of. You got Colossal Smash, you got Mortal Strike, you got Rend, you got Execute. Nothing really that much more. You got Whirlwind, which is your filler, and you got Thunderclap, which is also kind of a filler. And Siegebreaker Blow if you spec the way I do. So what you do is you want to keep Rend applied all times. It's a priority. You want to keep Rend applied because it will deal damage, and it will make your auto attacks deal more damage because of the Draenor perk we got for Rend. So that's a good thing. You always want to keep Rend applied. As well as with the spec I got, you also get Rage for it. So you really want to get stay and get Rend applied. And if you have the Hellfire Citadel set bonuses, this is like the top priority for you, because otherwise you're not going to be able to spam Mortal Strike, which you want to be able to. So yeah, keep Rend applied. Easy as that. Next to that, you want to use your Colossal Smash on cooldown and try to line it up with your Burst and Trinket procs, all that kind of things, and use your Mortal Strike in it as much as you can. As well, if you don't have set bonus, try to spam Whirlwind and Thunderclap in it, and if you have Siegebreaker talent, try to get your Siegebreakers in it, so as your Storm Bolts, because they will also benefit from the Colossal Smash buff. And that's basically the whole priority almost. Like there's not really that much more that you want to do. Keep Sweeping Strikes up if you're an AoE. That's one thing that you can keep in mind, and that's basically it. So let's just get into the rotation. Like I said, you're gonna charge in for the Rage. You're gonna apply Rend. You're gonna go Colossal Smash, full burst, and try to fill in like this. Try to use the Thunderclap on cooldown and Mortal Strike is off cooldown, and fill in with Whirlwinds like this, and use Mortal Strike. Rend is falling off. You have to refresh your Rend. I was a bit late with it. This one, use Thunderclap. Okay, it's on cooldown. Let's do this. Let's go full ham. Come on, Colossal Smash. It's getting off cooldown. You want to go full hand on the target. So just refresh my Rend. And use Colossal Strike and things on cooldown. Mortal Strike as well. So let's do it again. Let's use my stun there. Thunderclap on cooldown, and let's do this again. There we go. Fill in with Whirlwinds. I'm not doing an AoE right now, so there's not really a point for me using it. There we go. So use my Colossal Smash, Siegebreaker in there, and try to spam my things in there. With this, I am sustaining 26k, but I did not pre-pot and I do not have any buffs active, guys, so keep that in mind. Try to keep your Rend applied. There we go, Mortal Strike window again, and go full ham against the target. That's basically all you do. That's literally all you do, and this is without set bonus. If you have the set bonus for Hellfire Citadel, you will find that you can spam Mortal Strike. When that happens, you want to ditch Thunderclap, because it's not going to be good anymore. Whirlwind is probably not going to be good as well, because you simply now get Sweeping Strikes, and spam Mortal Strike will do more damage in combination with that. So yeah, that's basically the rotation. It's not going to be different for PvP. You want to keep your Rend applied, guys. So again, Rend applied. You want to use your Colossal Smash on cooldown. You want to use your Mortal Strike on cooldown, and that's basically it. And try to line up your burst with your Colossal Smash and your Siegebreakers. And that's basically how you play in Arms Warrior. There's not that many more. After this, I'm also gonna do the other specs about this. Quick notice: what you might use is a few macros here, which I use. I use the famous ult, A charge macro, which is basically for me just to say charge. I love that one just for the fun of the game. It doesn't really give anything else. You want to use your one-shot macro for both PvE as well as PvP, because it will cost recklessness, cost avatar, and use 13, which is the quick slot for my trinket. So you want to keep that in mind. And that's basically all the macros I use. Add-ons, I use Elf UI, like you can see, Elf UI and Shadow and Light, since it was quite of a hassle. I got my bar set up this way. So as for damage, I use SCADA to record my damage. So there you go, guys, the Armorer's guide for both PvP and PvE. Yeah, and make sure that you use your rotation good. Defensive cooldowns that we guys also die with the sword, which will increase your damage taken, or reduces your damage taken by 30%, as well as your parry chance by 100%. So you will parry everything that's in front of you. So keep in mind that if they stand in behind, so let me use it on the tanking dummy. Like this. I'm gonna do die with the sword. I will now parry everything that thing throws at me. But if I turn around, he can hit me. So make sure to face your target when you have died with the sword up, otherwise you're gonna get hit anyways. Those are kind of quick tips that I can give you. So yeah, this was basically the video. If it helped you, make sure to do thumbs up and leave a comment down in the video what you thought about it, because I can really use that kind of feedback and support. So subscribe to my channel, because I would really appreciate that. My name is Pyroxius, and I hope to see you guys in future videos about the Fury War, as well as just some random BGs and probably some dungeons and that kind of things. So see you guys later. Thank you for watching.